Hi everyone, we're back with another project in our 2018 Holiday Paper Pack Challenge, and this is going to be the first part of the project, and I'm going to probably stop and work on it a little bit and then turn the camera back on. But basically what I've done is I've taken this sheet that has the wreaths on it. There's some animals that are sporadically put inside the wreaths throughout the page, and what I've done is I've taken two of my die cut shapes and held them up to the animals, kind of centered them up, and then traced around the outside of my die cut so that I can cut out about the area that they're at and then send them to the die cut machine. And then we're going to use these as box toppers for some projects. So let me finish, and as you can tell, you can probably see my, let's see if I can get it in here. You can see where I've drawn lines around where I want the die cuts to be. So now what I'm going to do is just cut around those pin lines and run everything through the die cut machine, and then I'll come back. I'm just going to die cut the bottom of the box with some glitter paper. Hi, welcome back to my channel. We're continuing on our 2018 Holiday Paper Pack Challenge series, and we're going to be making these two boxes right now. They're different sizes, but basically what I've done is taken one of our pattern paper sheets and used my die cuts in different shapes to cut out some of these wreaths that had the animals inside of them. So I basically deconstructed the whole page, and I think I ended up with about 6 or 8 of these little animals die cut out from there. I also, in addition to the pattern paper, I cut out glitter paper in the same size to go on the bottom of the box. So you have a top, which are pattern paper, then you have this bottom, which I'm using the glitter paper on, and then for our actual box, I used our pattern paper as well, and that's what I'm going to do on these two here. Alright, so let's make this one first. We're just going to make both of these in one video. This piece here is 7 by 4 1/4, and on the 4 1/4 side, we're going to score at 1 and at 3 1/4. On the 7-inch side, you're going to score at 1, 3 1/4, 4 1/4, and 6 1/2. All right, we can put this up for the moment since we're going to do one box at a time. So this box is, I guess I'm going to call it a self-contained. It is a one-piece box that has a flap closure, and we will connect that flap to our little paper die cut piece. All right. This 1/2-inch score part is your flap to fold in. So we do not need these corner pieces here. We're going to cut in on the rest of these score lines. And then we will put adhesive on the 4 small flaps. Let's see, when I fold it in, it's going to be up here. So, this is my score tape. Absolutely love it. It's super sticky, and it actually has There we go. Sticking to itself. Super sticky, and the backing comes off very easy, which I like since I don't really have fingernails, and if I use this kind of adhesive, I have to sit there and pick at it forever sometimes. Okay, so I put adhesive on these 4 little flaps. Just make sure that it's pressed down well. If you get it pressed down well, the backing will come off pretty easy because it's so sticky. So once it sticks to your project, it's there. It's not moving. So it's definitely permanent adhesive. It's not something that's gonna be repositionable, which is good because the majority of the things I make are 3D projects and I need strong adhesive for that. We're just gonna tuck in these corner flaps, these little flaps, to make the bottom of our box. All right. These flaps are going to fold inside. Actually, what we're going to do, let's see here. Let's grab our corner rounder. And we're going to round these corners just so it's a little bit easier to fold those flaps in. All right. So we've got those rounded. So now our box will fold into itself here. Just like that. So if you wanted to just make a small box like this, let's see what size this is. It should be, yeah, 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, and it's 1 inch tall. So if you needed a small box for something, that would be the end of that, and you could just stop there. However, this is a really cute way of kind of embellishing and jazzing it up a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to take our die cut piece, pattern paper first, and we're going to put it on the top of our box. So it's going to be easier to line up everything and to make sure things are where we want them if we put the adhesive on the box versus putting it on the die cut piece. So all I'm doing is just really making sure I've got plenty of adhesive on the lid. And then I'm going to actually close the box. And then I'm going to stick that down, paying attention to the way that I put on there. My head may get in the way. I need to kind of center this up. Okay, so we've centered that there, and we turn it over, and there's the top of our box. Now, when you pull on the die cut piece, it helps lift the lid up. So that really is a good benefit of that. We want the glitter side up on this box, and so we need to do the same thing we did on the top by putting a decent amount of adhesive on the bottom here. And this is my 1/2 inch score tape, which is awesome. It's very affordable. It's on my store if you're interested. I would highly recommend it. Definitely the best double-sided adhesive on a roll like that I have ever used. Hands down, no question about it. Okay, so we want the glitter side to be facing this way. So we're gonna, let's see, how do I want to do this? We're gonna just center it up like this. Try to do the best we can and get it centered up. There we go. So the glitter part's sticking up. Our little die cut, this one is a panda bear, is on there. Then you have a little box to put some treats in, gift, whatever. Super cute. All right, we're gonna move on to this one. This paper size is 5 by 5, so it doesn't really matter what side you start on. We're going to score at 1 inch and at 4 inches. And then we're going to score at 1, 2 1/4, 3 1/4, and 4 1/2. All right, that's all the scoring you need for that box. Let's go ahead and burnish those score lines. Definitely the same concept as the box we just made, it's just a different size. It's going to have the flap and everything. These two corner pieces will be taken out because the middle pieces are flaps, so we do not need those pieces. These other pieces we're going to cut in on the score lines to the score line. These two pieces here are our flaps, and generally it's a lot easier to round the corners when your page is flat like this. So since I'm thinking of it, we're going to do that now. Go ahead and round these. I've got a little bit of extra paper there, so let me take that off. Round that corner, flip this around, stick that in there, and stick that in there. Okay, so our flaps have rounded corners. We could even do it on the actual flap if we want to, just fine. Okay, now what we need to do is stick adhesive on, not the middle, but these other four flaps, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and still use this 1/2 inch adhesive. And it's really easy to tear. Pull that in. Yeah. Just trying to make sure I put the adhesive on the most effective part of the flap where it's going to stick the best. Easy to tear. I mean, it really is a superb adhesive. All right, let's peel all these off. And now we will just fold in all of the flaps that have adhesive on them. Line everything up. On these small boxes, if you'll notice on my other projects, I actually notch out the score line so it's not so bulky. But when you're making a box like this, to keep everything in line and for support really too, I actually do not trim any of those score lines out. Okay, so there's your box. Once again, if you just wanted a cute little box to hold some treats or whatever, you could just keep it like this. But we are going to add these pieces here. So let's go ahead and open this back up. I'm going to put adhesive on the top again, just like we did on the other one. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. All right. So there's that adhesive. Actually, since we have the bottom of the box right there, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. We'll take off the backing paper when we're ready to do that here in a minute. But there, it's covered now. Okay, so let's take off the adhesive on the top. Take off the backing of the adhesive. And we'll take our topper. I'm going to turn it over. Let's see, make sure it's going the right way. This is the way we want the box to go. I'm going to close this, and I'm just going to center this up the best I can on there. We'll take the back off of these pieces of adhesive, and we want the glitter to be facing up, and this is the bottom. So we're going to put glitter side down. I'm going to do it this way. Try to do this the best I can. Stick it down like that. That's pretty good. So now when you lift up this little thing here, it's going to open up your box. And it's just a nice, cute little embellishment. You can use, you know, all sorts of, if you have dies, play around with your dies and things. This box here is 3 inches by 1 1/4. So that's what we are making in this project. I hope you enjoyed it. We have many more to come, so thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.